I look at it, all of you, I would like to think that I am looking at the future leaders of this world. And that's how I would like to speak with you this morning, as you being the future leaders of the world. Is that okay, teachers, if I treat them as the future leaders of this world? By the way, teachers, I have a little gift for you too. I don't know if you know this, but I'm the only person in New Jersey anyone knows whose assembly counts as an hour of professional development. And you're going to all get a certificate too. Being leaders in the environment sometimes only means thinking about the little choices we make. The choices we make with a bottle, or a newspaper, or a can. When I was your age, I didn't know this. When I was your age, I would drink out of a can, look around, say, nobody looking. And I would have tossed it on the ground, and I would have walked away. So I'm going to ask everyone here, by a show of hands, to raise your hand if even once in your life you have accidentally dropped something on the ground and walked away. Even some of the teachers have their hands up. Give yourselves a hand for being honest. Honesty is good. And you know what? Every school I've been to in the United States, everyone raises their hands. And it makes me glad that we're honest, but it makes me wonder why we all grow up dropping things on the ground. I think part of it is that we never always really learn what could happen to the things we leave on the ground. How many of you like animals? Anyone? Okay. I'm going to show you a couple. These are just toys, so I didn't want little kids to cry, but they are based on real reports. And they found a real animal. Someone threw away a plastic bag. An animal came along, tried to play with it. Animal got it stuck over its head. Someone else threw away a wire. I think these were used headphones, actually. Just dumped them on the ground, walked away. Animal came along, tried to play with it, but when they got to this animal, the plastic bag was over its head, having trouble breathing. A wire was around its neck and cutting into its neck. It was starting to bleed. Now, they were able to save the animal, but I never knew that what I left on the ground could hurt an animal. Over here, who's ever seen these kind of fancy birthday balloons? Well, can you believe it, teacher? Somebody actually dumped this on the ground and walked away, just walked away. And when they found this animal, it thought it was something to play with, but the trouble is, it got all wrapped up all over it. And then, who's ever seen, this is called styrofoam. Who's ever seen this? Mr. Barry and I saw a piece of this the size of a car tire blowing around New Jersey. When they found this animal, it had jammed its head in here. And it couldn't breathe, and it was lucky because if we tried too hard, it might have broken its neck. Fortunately, they rescued. How many of you would like to make the world safe for animals? Here you go. Thank you. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures now. Mr. Barry's going to get the lights. Wait till when the lights go off, I'll explain what this is. Can you see that? Can you see the screen? Can you see it clear from over there? Can you see the wall? I want to make sure that you guys can see the wall over there. You can see it. Okay. This says, this trash weighing 2 pounds remained in a deer's stomach for nearly 4 years, eventually causing the animal's death. I never knew that anything on the ground could be eaten by an animal, by a deer, and could kill them. So, how many people have ever seen anything like that outside? Who's ever seen anything like that outside? I'm going to show you the secret of what happens to most garbage and litter in New Jersey. It has to do with this. How many of you have ever seen something like this on the corner? Many people incorrectly call this a sewer. Let me tell you what it's really called. And someday at a college interview, you might impress someone by being able to talk about this. This is really called a storm drain. Storm drain, and here's why. If my laser was the rain from a storm, most of the rain from storms, actually in the United States, goes down these drains. My sister lives in New Mexico. They have storm drains there. The rain from the storms go down the drains. That's why it's called a storm drain. If there were no storm drains, then every time it rained, the water would go over the sidewalk. And we would have a flood. See how smart you are? Someday at a college interview, you could say, I know. The reason we don't usually have floods in New Jersey, the hurricane was an exception. But usually we don't, because usually most water from storms go down these drains. Here's a real one. Who's ever seen one like that outside? And who's ever seen garbage and litter on the ground next to it? Uh-oh. Here's the real problem. On a rainy day, the rain can wash all that garbage and litter down the storm drain. And underneath the storm drain, how many of you walk on the sidewalk later? Well, when you do, imagine there's a pipe underneath you. Because if we can open up the sidewalk and look under the ground, we would probably see a pipe. And although it may look a little boring at first, the truth is that pipe might make the difference whether you and someday your children have clean water or not. Because anything that was on the ground, any garbage and litter, can end up under the ground in that pipe. A can, cigarette. Who's ever seen a cigarette butt on the street outside? Teachers, that's the #1 form of litter in the United States. More of half than all the litter in our country is cigarette butts. Now, we have some, you could even ask Mr. Barry too. I'm going to ask a couple of people to tell me, these pipes don't stop under the ground in East Orange. They travel under the ground, they come out somewhere, and where they come out, they bring the garbage and litter. Who thinks they know? You might not know, it's okay, but who thinks they do know any place? That young woman right there in her hand up first. Yes, Mr. What's one place you think they bring it? Very good, very small. What's your name?
Juray.
Big hand for Juray. Very good, Juray. How about that, Juray and everyone? When you see garbage and litter outside in the street of East Orange, it might end up in the ocean. Now, it could also end up in other water that's closer than the ocean. What kind of water do we have inland? Young man right there.
Might go to a shower or a sink.
Well, you know what? Sometimes it could actually back up in a house. Not usually, but it could actually happen. What's your name? Quashan?
Quashan.
Quashan? Big hand for Quashan. What other kind of water outside is there? Like an ocean, but closer. All the way in the back. Young man, straight back.
Salt water.
Okay, very good. What's your name?
Ethan.
Ethan?
Yeah.
Big hand for Ethan. Very good. And that means it would be fresh water. So what is a couple of examples quick of fresh water? Young man over there, real quick. Oh, lake. There you go. What's your name?
Jarrell.
Big hand for Jarrell. And beside the lake, what else do we have? Young woman right there. We have the lake and what else? The river. Oh, Hudson River. What's your name?
Anaya.
Big hand for Anaya. Very good, Anaya. In fact, everyone, if we could go up in a helicopter and look down at New Jersey, we would see storm drains all over our state. East Orange is around here. Teachers, each one of these represents thousands. And if we could pick them up under the ground, we would see pipes under the ground all over New Jersey. And I hope you haven't, but who's ever seen anything like that? Oh, no. On a rainy day, this could go under the ground, travel through a pipe, and when no one is looking, come right out into the water. The water where the fish live. I'm going to show you the big fish at the Jersey coast. What is this? That actually is a flounder. Who's ever heard that word flounder or seen a flounder advertised in a menu? Okay. How many of you like dolphins? I'm going to tell you my favorite dolphin story. Mr. Barry's going to turn it on. True story. Some years ago, someone was riding in the car with their mommy, their mom, in the middle of New Jersey. Not that far from East Orange, right in the middle of our state, not by the ocean. When all of a sudden, Mom, stop the car! Because she can't believe what she sees. Because in the middle of New Jersey, not the ocean, in the middle of New Jersey in a river, out jumps a dolphin.